I was in a place where, I was paying market rate rent and I was working a really good job. I do paint as a profession, and I lost, the job with painting. Contracts weren't coming in fast enough, and I would fall behind here and there on my rent. So they didn't want to renew my lease. And I ended up living with my mother in her one-bedroom apartment with my kids, and, it was me. I thought, well, I'm gonna, just go to a shelter, see, what they can do to help me and my son. And, I stayed there all of 120 days. Yeah. And things was not looking hopeful. And I was ready to give up, but something just kept saying, hang in there. It's coming, just hang in there. Things started looking up more and more. I got a job, I had an apartment, and life was changing for the better. I had an advocate who, every time I talk about it, I'm not sad, but it makes me happy, and I feel good knowing that she cares. And so she stepped in, and Linda has been one of the best women that, I've met on this journey.
But I do think that you need to treat people with respect, and really at solid ground, acknowledging where someone's coming from. So they're coming from homelessness, which means their world has been traumatic.
Before here, it was a hard struggle, but I have to say, once I made it to solid ground, things changed. And not just because it was housing, but because it was support.
So it's really starting with getting them settled in here and acknowledging that experience as much as they want to. And then moving from there into what they want to accomplish. What can they use this, while they think sometimes long time of 2 years, on the transitional side, which is actually not that long, to really kind of exhale from being homeless, and then start to build that stability and trust that it's actually security, not just stability.
Walter is a terrier mix.
My goodness, said Mother. Every place I look, I see dog biscuits.
We did some obedience work and we became a therapy team. But it became obvious that Walter needed some children in his life. And the kids sign up to spend 15 minutes apiece with Walter and read to him. They bring a book that they choose. And they just get some one time with Walter and get to read him stories. And he just loves to listen to what they have to say. He's fascinated by the energy that children bring. One of the advantages, I think, of having a therapy animal at Solid Ground is because they can't have pets here. So this is a big opportunity for a bunch of the children to get to know an animal and learn how to interact appropriately with them.
Jack and Annie climbed off their bikes and...
You're reading to a non-judgmental audience. It's not a teacher, it's not a sibling or a parent who's thinking, oh no, you should be reading faster or bigger words or anything. The dog just loves to hear the story and look at the pictures and be with the child, and it's just a lot of fun.
Well, coming into Solid Ground, I was really totally different person than I am today. Like, I learned so much from being here. I got my GED.
So not only does it give them the actual, tangible diploma or GED to get the job or to, start to pursue other education, it increases their self-worth and their belief that there is a possibility for a career.
I have a CNA license, and so after I move out of here, I move out July 31st, and then after I move out, I'm gonna start to go to work. I have 3 kids, Alex, Mila, and Aiden, and since we moved into Solid Ground, now they have a it's been stable living for them, so a lot has changed. Their schooling is better, their behaviors are better. And the parenting class here was really great. It taught me a lot about parenting and how to reverse things when they're young, so they're doing great now.
It's an interactive group. Parents come in, it's 14 weeks, and they enjoy it, and they get involved, and it's like, you know, as the weeks go on, you can kind of see the light go off, and it's like, I do that, that's what I do. Oh, my mom did that. I said I wouldn't do it. I do the same thing, you know. I mean, and it's just so nice to see the growing, you know, the growing that they've done, and then to see them with their children.
And since living at Solid Ground, their grades have went up, their behavior has been better, so a lot has changed. This program is great. My kids love it, and I hate to leave.
So it's just a wonderful thing, and they come in kind of, you know, why do I have to be here? You know, eventually come week 3 or 4, it's like they don't miss.
So what the future holds for me is after I move out of Solid Ground, I feel like I've got the stability from being here to do anything that I want. So my goal is to move out, you know, put my kids in sports, be able to pay for that, go to work every day, get a car hopefully.
You know, it just kind of confirms for us that we do good work. You know, we do good work.
I can see through the reports over several years that this organization achieves its objectives. It's an accountable organization, it sets goals, it measures those goals and reports on those goals, and it shows that we actually are helping families move from, you know, dire straits into self-sufficiency in many instances. So that's an organization that I can get behind. I also have observed that it's an organization that uses my resources really wisely. And so it's thoughtful about these expenditures, it's careful about these expenditures, it's really conservative about its use of these resources, and that means a lot to me. I also like the fact that it's not just about the short term. Yes, we absolutely help people who are homeless move into supportive, stable, secure, and safe homes. That's critical. But we provide these wraparound, empowering services so that the families we help over time hopefully won't need our help. And I think that has tremendous impact. So when I give my time and my resources, I want to have impact. I think from a person who thinks about, again, how I spend my resources, that's a great ROI.